The first season of every show is usually a starting point. Them trying to get the groove of what they're trying to do with the story, the characters, and what they're trying to go for. And sometimes they usually has the best seasons of their best of shows, and sometimes for good reason because they kind of feel like just finding their footings and everything. But there definitely have been some fantastic first seasons and great TV shows. And I said, why not make a list on TV shows? And that's up. This list actually wasn't the easiest to make, surprisingly, because there actually were a lot of great first seasons. So this list wasn't easy. So bear with me on that. But I do hope you guys still enjoy the list nonetheless. As always, this is just my personal opinion. I love to know what are your favorite first seasons of television shows down in the comments down below. And reminder, I've not seen every TV show out there, so if there's first TV seasons of shows that you want to be on the list, it's more likely that I did not watch that show. So, hands up, I'm saying one with some touchings, and here are my top 10 best first seasons of TV shows. Now, I actually flipped out a lot back and forth between my number 10. There were definitely a lot of choices. I didn't. Also, by the way, I will have off time honorable mentions down the description as well. You want to see the shows that didn't, the first season television shows that did not make the list. And there were definitely a lot of great first TV shows that I much I love them, they just could not make the list, unfortunately. So, coming in at number 10 for me is Arrow. Yes, Arrow, the first season, I didn't make the list. This season I definitely have grown to appreciate the more I watch it, the more I think about it. It definitely is a little more episodic than the other ones, but it definitely makes it pretty working. Of course, you get a lot of the teen drama stuff that you expect from every CW show, but it's not like it's not too focused on that, and it's more on Oliver's journey on trying to kill these people, his journey of getting back into normal life with his family and dealing with the dramas of that, and also he has like with John Diggle, Felicity, Malcolm Merlin, Tommy, Laurel, Dia. Like, there's a lot of emotional stuff that happens throughout this season, especially with that season finale. That's honestly one of the best finales I've ever seen. You know, if you watch my ranking of all the Arrow finales, and it's a really great emotional journey where every episode does feel warranted and everything, and all the characters have interesting arcs, and some of the actually managed to prove this season too. But there's a reason why I fell in love with Arrow from the very beginning, and it was from this fantastic first season. And now coming in at number 9, we have Ned's Declassified. Next up, this is going to be the only Nickelodeon show that you will see on this list. And there definitely do actually have great first seasons, and again, that's why it's not the only one you will see on this list. But I went between this and Drake and Josh and a couple other Nickelodeon shows, but in the end, I think the one I say it is Nickelodeon, because I think it got a bit more what it was trying to go for. And looking back on the show, like, this is one show that really holds up a lot better than I remember to be honest. The shows in some ways might feel kind of a little over top in nature. In some ways, it kind of is the cartoon at times, but when it comes to like realistic topics and subjects, that's what the show really excels at. And all the episodes feel natural, fun, entertaining. The characters really feel distinct from each other. There's no like stereotypical characters here. A lot of fun interactions and rivalries, and a lot of fun lessons to be had with some characters and everything. It's an all-around aerogenic fun, but with some very good messages and lessons. And now coming in number 8, we have DuckTales! Ooh! Every day we're out there making DuckTales! Ooh! Yeah, season 1 of DuckTales. Again, it's so surprising how good this show ended up being. Again, I'm someone that never really grew up with the original DuckTales, so I've never really had any nostalgia for it like a lot of people do. And reboots tend to be a bit of a low place in terms of quality, but it was actually pretty surprising how great this show ended up being. Like, really surprising. So, it does have a lot of stuff that kind of references the original show, but it ends up... It's a show that appeals to both casuals, newcomers, and diehard fans of the show. And the first season really emphasizes a lot of what I love about this show, with the adventure aspect and the whole mystery involving the mom, which leads to a very emotional finale and a great episode before that finale. Like, a lot of the interesting characters with Huey D. Lou have distinct personalities. Webby, Mrs. Beakley, Launchpad, Leah, Magica has a great long story arc that really ends up making, that really is worth all the build-up that it's reaching, and it ends up delivering so much emotion by the end. Like, I have to include DuckTales 316 on this list. Now, coming in at number 7, we have Harley Quinn. Another show on this list that I was pleasantly surprised at how much I actually loved. Like, of all the other shows, this is one I wasn't expecting to love much as I did, but this is a show I really have not stopped thinking about since I first saw it. It definitely is a show that really does earn its R rating, but it actually makes you actually feel for Harley Quinn as a character. It actually makes you feel for Harley Quinn. Like, that's a testament to him. That's an impressive testament onto itself. But from the first episode, like this, I thought the show always had potential, but it's one that honestly has gotten better so much on the more I watched it and the more it went along. Again, the great relationship touch between Harley and Poison Ivy, and then kids like King Shark, Private Psycho, Clayface, Joker, and all different characters. And they do a great job making you feel for Harley's journey of wanting to really prove herself from Joker. And it ends up being awarded with an amazing finale, a great build-up, and Harley finally growing into character and finding that she's nothing without Joker. Finally saying that she can be herself without Joker. And not mention the season's also pretty hilarious, and the pop culture stuff never feels out of place here. It doesn't care what tone this show is trying to go for, and it succeeds with that tone as well. Like, and Harley really does truly grow as a character here, and it's just an all-around funny show, but yet surprisingly deep and emotional, which again, I was not expecting. Now, coming in number 6, we have The Walking Dead. Of course, I had to clear The Walking Dead here again. Like I said, the first season is one that I've grown to appreciate the more I watch it. While in obviously 6th episode, it really set the tone and what's really to come for this show. And I think this season goes out with a bang, honestly, and bang on suing. I mean, 76th episode develops its characters very well, the relationships between all of them, what people are going through, while some can be expected, like Laurie and Andrea, but a lot of them are still pre-developed here, and get a lot of shining moments. Do a good job making you feel for Rick from the very beginning. Like, it's truly a great first season. Despite it only being 6 episodes, it's still delivering everything it needs to deliver. Now, in top 5, and coming in number 5, we have Ed, Ed, and Eddie. I don't think I really talk about Ed and Eddie much on this channel, which is unfortunate because Ed is my favorite. Because Ed and Eddie is my favorite Cartoon Network show of all time. I would say it was my favorite Cartoon Network show. It has and always will be Ed and Eddie. But I think I mentioned a few times, especially in my top 10 best series finales list, where I talked about how amazing that finale was. And definitely makes me really think a lot about the characters. And the first season, again, it's still setting its tone up, but the shenanigans that the characters get through is great. Some of the episodes here are still very iconic and memorable. The edits work very well with each other. The other characters have great interactions and all that. Of course, the animation can be a bit dated to today's standards, but for me, all the episodes here are fantastic. Fantastic, hilarious, iconic, funny, and just feeling everything I still and everything I always still will love about the show. All the show definitely has gotten better with other seasons. The first one will definitely always hold a special place in my heart. Now, coming in number 4 on this list, we have Cobra Kai. Another show on this list that I was pleasantly surprised at how much I actually adored it. Like, I'm pretty sure no one was expecting a continuation of the original Karate Kid movies to be as good as it was. A TV show where you have Daniel and Johnny basically return and the actors who play these characters. I'm pretty sure nobody was expecting these shows to actually be like great, especially be on YouTube, right, of all things. That really wasn't the best sign, if I'm being honest, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who thinks that. But it managed to actually work. Like, on the first episode alone, I already felt so much about Johnny as a character, and him reuniting with Daniel was a great gut-wrenching and interesting moment, and fights on insight, and it did a great job making you feel about Johnny from his perspective. As let's face it, Johnny was always kind of a generic character from the original movie. I mean, he definitely wasn't bad by any means, but he definitely was kind of generic. But here, they actually make you feel real for his character, about his home life, what he's been through with these characters, what he has been through in life and everything, and his mentor Kreese, and seeing and involving Allie from his perspective, which is all really compelling and seeing how Daniel Pinarelli and the rivalry against the electric fucking go, it's actually pretty hilarious and pretty emotional, actually. In spite of the other characters are also pretty interesting and compelling, the fight sequences are fantastic, the emotion truly hits like a ton of bricks. The line scene then it has a great, interesting cliffhanger involving a return of a certain character that I'm not going to spoil in case you haven't seen the show, but Cobra Kai is amazing, and seasons have definitely gotten better, and I can't wait to see what they do season 4. And yeah, first season is truly a fantastic and definitely one of the most, probably one of the most fascinating shows I've ever seen. And now back to Nickelodeon, number 3, and I guess I almost actually forgot to put it on the list, but I had to go with Spongebob Squarepants. I mean, and of course I didn't, of course, like a lot of us definitely grew up a lot with SpongeBob here, and I think a lot of us agree that the early seasons were fantastic, and season 1 definitely sets the tone for what to come for this show. I'm going to show setting up the characters, the fun situations that we're going to get into. Again, the show kind of I'm going to show they're episodic and all that, but it's not, this first season not on the characters of SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, and the other top characters that you end up being recurring characters down the road. Again, the animation might be a kind of a bit dated since the other shows in terms of the other seasons, but in terms of the humor, the iconicness, the situations, the episodes, it still is hilarious. Like, a lot of episodes I still be watching a lot to this very day. Like, I don't need to say why this is iconic. Like, you know this is iconic. Now, before we get to my top 2, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, guys. I want to see you more guys like this, and I would truly love to know what are your favorite first season TV shows down in the comments down below. I would truly love to know. Down below, let me know if you want to see me do one on my top 10 best second seasons and third seasons, etc. Let me know what other TV content you want to see me do down below in the comments. But anyways, coming up 2, we have Survivor. Yes, I had to include Survivor on this list. I don't know if I probably should include a reality show on this list, but I mean, come on, I had to. I mean, you guys know Survivor is my favorite show of all time. I fucking adore the show to no end, and the first season definitely is an interesting one, mainly because, again, it's the first season of Survivor, and it feels radically different from season. Like, if you're someone that just watches a lot of modern stuff, and then it comes to classic ones, it definitely feels more slower and more different, and the show's still trying to find its wheels and trying to figure out what it's trying to go for, and it's still. And so that's why people still sucks. Like, there's a reason why people still consider Born to be one of the best seasons, still one of the best seasons of the show, because it is the first season, and it definitely is one of my favorite seasons of the show, honestly. It definitely is the most perfect season, by any means, but when the show is or was now, it makes the season still interesting, and fits a lot of the themes and stuff that will make Survivor such a great show in the first place, and I'm not saying because eventually I might plan on doing a review season every season of the show, but yeah, Borneo, still a fantastic season. Number 1, and this should surprise you if you know my history of the show. Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you're not fan of reality shows, this show probably would be my favorite of all time. Like, it's a show I always make sure to watch at least once every single year, ever since the finale ended, and it's a tradition I'm not going to change anytime soon. This is a show that will always be near and dear to my heart. And I didn't really fully appreciate it a lot when it came out. I mean, I loved it, but I didn't really appreciate it as much as I do now. But after all, this is the reason why people consider to hold the show in such a high regard. Because it is that amazing of a show. And the first season, season 9 kind of feel like it's still finding its wheels. It still compels you. It still is an amazing, impactful show that really hits like a ton of bricks with a lot of the episodes it goes for. Especially in the first season, and trying to explore who these characters are, especially with Zuko. We find him like why he's trying to say he's after the Avatar. He's trying to prove himself to his father when he like spoke up in the meeting. Like, damn, that guy really had a good family life. Good family life, and then everything that Aang goes through, trying to become a hero and all that, and all the emotional stuff that he goes through doing all this stuff. And Sokka being Sokka, and you all around. Do I need to say why the first season is fantastic? Well, again, similar to ones like the animation might not hold up well to the latest seasons. There's still so much to love and adore about the first season in terms of episodes, character moments, music, action. It's just fantastic all around. Well, guys, I hope you all enjoy me discussing top 10 best first season shows. comment down below what are your favorite first seasons TV shows. Whatever people like content you want me to do down below in the comments. I am Sam One World Sam One Productions. I will see you next time. As always, stay cool out about that. Peace.